Welcome to the Expats Career Podcast. My name is Pyak. I'm the Managing Director of Immigrant Spirit GmbH. And I'm here today with David Bosse, CPO of InfluencerDB, and Ramu Nair, the Director of Business Development. Hello, Ramu. Hello, David.
Hello there.
Hello.
Thank you, both of you, to be willing to join this podcast so spontaneously. We arranged this just 2 or 3 days ago. Would you be so kind, Ramu, to explain our listeners a little bit, what is InfluencerDB? What are you doing? What is your mission?
So hi guys, hi everyone who is listening in. To give you a quick brief of what InfluencerDB is, we are a software as service software platform providing data analytics and a workflow solution in the niche area of marketing called influencer marketing. And now, while this is a niche area right now, it's a very heavily growing industry, the influencer marketing industry, and we are providing a software solution for brands such as L'Oreal, Coty, Lufthansa, etc., to better analyze the potential influencers they want to work with to make sure they are great influencers and look at the data and manage their workflow and relationships better. And we
So you are focused on influencer marketing and analyzing the results there, yeah?
Exactly.
Okay. And this is, of course, something really close to us here at Immigrant Spirit, because we are also a very result-driven organization. That's why I can see the benefit of that. Can you tell me a little bit about your company, the kind of people that you are working with? Because in the end, of course, you want to have a great job, you want to have an interesting task, but it's like 10 times more fun to do your work when you are working in a great team. Tell us a little bit about the people working at InfluencerDB.
Happy to. And I guess more interesting for the Immigrants Help community is the fact that our team is very international. I would say about 40% of our team is rather international. We have 11 nationalities in our company. We are a company of now 35 people, and out of that, we are filled with 11 nationalities. I myself are from India. We got people from Bulgaria, Slovakia, Romania, Pakistan, France, etc. So I think we are probably one of the most international company in Munster. So that is an important part of our work culture, that international diversity.
Yeah. Ramu, you said it already, your company is based in Münster, or as we call it in Germany, Little Peking. And can you tell me a little bit, as someone who has lived there as an international professional, what do you value most about living in Münster as a living environment?
I don't have yet a family, but when I think about, I'm 32 and I'm thinking of starting a family. When in the usual big cities like Berlin and Hamburg, etc., are nice cities and everything, but when you really want to think about expanding your family circle and everything, it's not exactly a cost-effective city. Munster, in that sense, is the standard of living is definitely high, and that we can have our own move with the family, and the cost is better, and it's a very pretty, sweet city with very cycle-friendly city if you're into cycling. So for all that factor, it's a very attractive city for really settling it. And for example, one of our head of research actually moved into Munster because of one of those factors with his family while joining us, moved from Berlin to that Munster for that major appeal of Munster. Pretty and very family-friendly.
Yeah, and at the same time, you're also still very close to several airports, no? So you can still travel quite freely, because your business is also quite international, if I understand.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we are an online product, so anybody across the world can use our software. Predominant part of our clientele are at the moment Germany, from Germany, but we are increasingly having clients from the US, UK, English-speaking countries, because our software is in English. And as part of our growth strategy, we are also opening offices in US and UK next year.
For our listeners, please feel free to send in your questions via the chat on YouTube Live already now. We will have a quick interview about 2 positions that David and Ramu will present to us, and they have several other open positions as well, but 2 we will talk about in more detail. About 2 positions. So feel free to send your questions already now, because after the interview about the positions, you will have the chance to, I will ask your questions to David and to Ramu. Yeah, this was a very complicated explanation for a very simple task. David, let's come to you. You are probably used to complicated answers to seemingly simple tasks, since you are the CPO of InfluencerDB, and you have to make a reality all the wishes of your customers. Hello, David.
Hi.
David, you brought us one position especially that you would like to talk about. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, right now we're extending our software development team for several more positions, and especially the senior software developer is one which is very important for us.
Yeah, and can you tell us about this position as a senior software developer? What is the biggest challenge that this person should solve for you? What keeps you awake at night, basically?
It's a good question. The problem, what we have, or it's not a problem, but it's a challenge. We are using a huge technology stack. It's very unlikely that a person comes in and says, "Oh, I know everything." So even as a senior software developer, there are so many things you have to learn and to evolve to, that at the end you can say, I really can help our company to achieve our goals.
Yeah. So to learn quickly would be one thing that is necessary.
Exactly. And of course, as a senior software developer, programming is one core skill. But on the other hand, for us, communications and helpness to helping other persons to becoming a senior software developer as well is, of course, for our company very important.
Yeah. How would you define success for this position? How, if you hire someone and this person finished the first year working for you, what does this senior software developer need to achieve in the first year to be considered successful?
We have multiple goals. On the one hand, it's, as I said already, that he must help other people in our company to become better. Then secondly, he should, of course, finish the jobs which we gave to him. So we have like a feature or priority list that we can see their progress. And the third thing is that the quality of his work must be very high.
Yeah. You mentioned, of course, the list of features or tasks that you are giving him. Could you give us a real-life example from the, I'm sure, lots of things that you have on your list right now? Which one would you say right now is the most important one, and why?
Right now we have a database for all persons or all influencers on Instagram. And one of our goals for 2018 is to have to extend our database with all relevant persons on YouTube. So in one word, YouTube integration into InfluencerDB is one of our major goals for the next year.
And why is this so important?
It's because brands are working with influencers very heavily, and Instagram is one of the most important social network there. But if I would have to name another one, it would be YouTube. So it would just leverage our software to the next stage.
I understand. And this is now the general goals that the person needs to achieve as a senior software developer. And by the way, dear listeners, if you have questions to ask to David or to Ramu later, feel free to ask them already now, as much as you can. Write them in the chat box here on YouTube Live, so that later I can ask them right away once we finish with the interview. David, this was the overall goals. What kind of skills are you looking for? What kind of qualities are you looking for in this future senior software developer?
This is a really good question, because this is related to the question which I've asking persons in their first interview when they introduce or coming to our software, to our company. I always ask, why do you became a programmer? Is it because you really love the technology, you really love coding and you're into it, or is it because you wanted just a good job where you could earn good money? And in my opinion, a good developer at the end is someone who is motivated to learn new things, and it's not just about the money. So really, yeah, that's more or less it.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting because over the years I have interviewed many CEOs and managers, and when you ask them about what you think about the best person, what makes them different from all the others, they all give a very similar answer as you have. They very seldom talk about skills. They always talk about attitude. This I wanted to ask you, of course, as well, David. When you think about all the software developers that you have worked with over the years, and you rank them from the best person to the worst person, if you think about the very best people, what did they do different from the average?
Yeah, this I can answer very easily. If I look at, for example, at our CTO, Andre, he is such a good coder. He has so good communication skills. He's filling his free time with just still continuously evolving and learning new sets of skills that I'm always impressed about what he can do and how he can manage all the tasks which we are facing.
Oh, which, by the way, shows that you are a good boss as well, because you use the opportunity to praise someone from your team. It's very nice. So,
yeah, of course, it's always about helping people to become better overall, and not just in this small time of working with us.
yeah, and we already have a question coming in from Voy Sosnovsky. Voy asks, is your hiring focus primarily on development now? And do you have anything about software infrastructure architects, cloud architects, etc.? Do you have a need in these fields?
So it was basically two questions. The first question is, one of our needs is a senior software developer, but what we are lacking as well is a IT project manager, because we are growing so fast that we need to adapt our progress and processes, and therefore we need a good IT manager additionally to the senior software developer. And the second question was
infrastructure architects, cloud architects.
Infrastructure and architect. Yeah, it's right now we're moving everything to the cloud, to the Google Cloud, and therefore we're using new technologies. I could name that. It's, for example, CockroachDB. It's as I've heard from our CTO, it's kind of new, and as we are on a big data topic, there are several cloud technologies we are using to make sure that we are always scaling in the future. Because if we think it's until the end, we won't have not only integrated Instagram and YouTube, but we will integrate Twitch, Stream, LinkedIn, Sing, and so on.
Yeah, the answer is yes. You would need an infrastructure expert also.
Exactly. For example, we need DevOps. I mean, we have on our webpage, we have only a few job descriptions, but if you're into IT and software developing in any kind, just do an application with us.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we will come back to the topic of applications at the very end, because usually companies, they have different preferences, and I wanted to learn about how you would like people to apply, especially in the IT field. But we come back to that in the end. Thank you, David, for talking with us about the IT positions. Ramu, you are the Director of Business Development, and you also have a position that you try to fill.
Yeah, though I'm not directly responsible for this position, as I have a company growing in software technology selling to businesses, big enterprise business, we are always also growing besides with the product with our sales team. So we are always on the lookout for senior sales executives or senior sales manager. These are people with experience selling enterprise level softwares at our price point to big companies, etc.
And to you, the same question: if you hire someone And well, with sales, it's not a year that you wait to see results. It's much shorter periods. What kind of time frame would you have to evaluate this person, if she really fits for the job or not? And what kind of results would you expect at the end of this time frame?
Well, the time frame starts in I would say 1 month period to 3 month period. 1 month is about learning, because a lot of the sales people who comes into it not very knowledgeable about influencer marketing and the SaaS influencer marketing industry. So a lot of our sales is consultative sales. So it's about how well they learn the entire industry of influencer marketing. That's a 1 month.
Ramu, are you still there? Ramu? Ramu? Hello? I fear a little bit we might have lost our guest. Here we are again. Ramu?
Yeah. Sorry, couldn't.
Sorry, you got totally lost. What we heard from you was the last thing. Okay, 1 month for learning the environment. And
yeah, 1 month for learning the environment, and the 3rd month is for by the 3rd month they should have certain revenue targets that they need to meet.
Could you share them with us, or are there?
That would be a little bit confidential to share, but we could say.
It's not, we don't have to tell the exact revenue, but we can say the amount of customers, for example.
Yeah. So by the 3rd month, if they can bring in 3 enterprise level deals, that would be good.
Okay, yeah, this is something what I always like about business development and sales. It's so much easier to evaluate, because there's no bullshit at the end of the time period, at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter. Either you meet the targets or you don't meet them.
Yeah, well, I would say it's the same with software development also. You need this, you either deliver on the project or not, But yes, I guess sales and business development is less bullshit focused.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, which yeah, please.
No. We were just enjoying that joke.
Yeah, I was thinking about several other professions where that might not be the case. But talking about your position again, the question: think about the best person you ever experienced in this role compared to the average person. What did the best person do differently?
Well, when the best person comes, what they do differently is how fast they would learn about the industry and how fast they are willing to structure a deal for a client. And more than anything else is how well they are being patient, but at the same time, pleasantly annoying, as I call it. It's a very fine balance, and the best people know how to strike that balance with the right set of clients. Some clients we can push very hard, while some clients you need to be a little bit patient also. The sales cycles vary depending on the size of the client and their needs. And so those who are able to figure that out the fastest, who really are doing the best.
Ramu, thank you very much. For our listeners, again, if you have a question you would like to ask either David or Ramu, now is the time to ask your questions, because the interview will soon be over. As you have seen here, there are also positions with InfluencerDB that are not even yet on the website, that you not even find right now. So if you want to ask about that, now is the time to do this. And while you type in your questions, I have one last question for David and Ramu from my side. Every employer has some preferences how he would like to be approached by job seekers, especially like, for example, the IT project manager position. It's not yet on the website. What would be a good way for candidates, international professionals who are interested to first to inquire about these positions? And how would you like them to prepare their job application?
It's very simple. We have a jobs email ID, which I have a direct access to, and I have always an oversight on it. So every job application that comes, I get a look through. So that's jobs@influencerdb.com. So if anybody wants to apply and want to even have an open application for a role that is not even advertised, just send us an email about it with just 2 things I need: cover letter and your CV.
Yeah, okay.
And what motivates you.
Okay. And David, how's it for the IT positions? Do you want something like work examples or GitHub accounts or something like this?
Yeah, it's more or less the same as Ramu already said. It's always good to include everything you can throw out to us. If it's like a GitHub account or like a Stack Overflow account or some references, it's always positive. Even though you don't have to applicate to one special IT job here, it's enough to just send us your CV. And we have so many tasks, as I said. I think it's if it's a good fit for us, we will find a good position where we could work together.
Yeah. I would like to say, we confidently say that we are very good at analyzing a CV and figuring out the best position for people where they would fit the best in our organization. We are still small in some ways, but growing very fast. To give you a perspective, we were about this time last year, maybe about 5 to 10 people, and now we are around 30 people. So we are a very fast growing firm. So we are also very good at finding the position for people that fits them the best.
So in other words, if you find someone who seems to be a talent and seems to be an asset, you will find a fitting role for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, this is. I will take 2 more questions from the audience. One comes from Gnichi Mohammed. He asked, "Yeah, is it important to call the hiring manager to catch your attention?"
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Yeah, it's if they should do a phone call to get in touch in person. I think this was the question. I don't think it's necessary, because if you have a good CV and a good motivation letter, it should be enough. But of course, if you have creative ideas, for example, calling, you can do that, but it's not this standard procedure here.
Okay. And the second question comes from Akber Ali. What exactly are your expectations from the senior versus the junior business development manager role? Would like to hear the expectations which are not mentioned on the job requirement.
Well, with the senior business development manager role, we expect some expertise either in one of these 2 industries, either in the influencer marketing industry or 2 in software, SaaS software industry. With the junior business development manager, we don't expect that much of a strong experience in the industry, because we believe in training and have connecting them to the right project manager, and they will learn from them. That would be the main difference, I would say, between the senior and the junior business development manager.
Yeah, thank you both very much. David Bosse, CPO, and Ramu Nair, Director Business Development of InfluencerDB. This was the Expat Career Podcast. My name is Chris Pyak. I'm the Managing Director of Immigrant Spirit GmbH. Thank you very much all for listening, and thank you our 2 guests, David and Ramu, for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.